You are now listening to What's the Fuzz, a furry podcast that advocates for diversity, equality, and cultural exchange inside and outside of the fandom. Never miss another episode again. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And now, your host, Reiner.
Hey Fuzzos, what's up, Welcome to this episode of What's the Fuzz. I'm your host, Reiner, as you damn well know. Or if it's your first time tuning in, I guess you didn't. Well, anyway, thanks for coming by and checking us out. This episode was recorded on March 12th, 2021, and should be put out around April 2021. Total coincidence, of course. But keep in mind that this was recorded 4 days before the Atlantis shooting took place. And a lot of what Hanzo says, hauntingly, is proven to ring true. With the escalation of Asian hate and violence towards them, we have to stand together and say enough is enough. Our enemy, our true enemy, is white supremacy. Nothing short of that. And I hope listening to this episode will help you understand that a little bit more. So, with that in mind, we'll be talking about being an outcast, imperialism, and fresh beats on this episode of What's the Fuzz. So I'm sitting down with Hanzo, one of the realest beastmen you could ever hope to meet. He loves hip-hop, styling, and just all-around vibing. Be sure to check him out over on Twitter, at HTGHanzo2K, and I'll be linking his other projects in the show notes below. Thanks so much for coming on the show tonight, Hanzo. Can't wait to get into it with you.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, bro. I had to get you on here when I knew about all that crazy shit you're going to, be doing. Eventually.
I mean, hey, we out here, that's all I gotta say. We out here.
Yeah, seriously. Like, you're trying to be a whole-ass content creator, right? With the dancing and the YouTubes and the musics and everything like that.
Yeah, basically. I mean, in the past, like, I have dabbled into, like, making, like, actual, like, skit videos and all that. But as of right now, I'm kind of more focused on, like, the musical aspect of things. So, like, right now, I'm just working on a whole bunch of different projects at the moment. And yeah.
Gotcha. Busy man over here.
I try to be.
Well, first, I'd like to throw out an icebreaker question. What's your favorite dish that you've ever had?
My favorite dish that I ever had. Ooh, that's kind of hard because I love food.
I know how you feel. It's hard to pick one.
I think when I had this dish called unagi don, meaning eel bowl, and what it is so I had this a long time ago when I was in Japan. It's basically like this dish where it's like you have a teriyaki marinated eel fillet, and it's like put on top of rice, and you eat it just like that, and you can add some condiments to it. But like, yeah, that's how you eat unagi don.
That sounds so fucking good. I would eat that like almost every day. I would have a problem.
Oh God,
All
like
right.
I would if I could, I'd eat that shit every day.
Oh man, I bet. All right, now on to this next question before we get too hung up on all food. So, I think our listeners would like to know a little bit more about you. So, where are you from? How old are you? What are your pronouns? What's your ethnicity? And how would you describe your sexuality / gender identity if you feel comfortable with it?
All right, so hello, my name is Hanzo, aka Young Rice Ball, aka Pseudo Normie. I'm a amateur hip hop dancer in CC Crew, and I'm currently in a collective called Magic Records. Cause I also make music too. I was originally born in Japan in Okinawa. I came to the States when I was really young. And I just kind of grew up all around. Like, I mean, I lived in Illinois, I lived in Wisconsin, hell, I even lived in New Orleans. Shit.
Damn, worldly.
I was a pretty nomadic individual, but that's because I moved a lot. Pronouns, I go by he, him, and my sexuality. Usually, like, I don't really, like, express my sexuality because oftentimes, like, I think it's my own business, but, like, I am gay. I just have this like interesting concept. Like even growing up, like I had this interesting concept of like being the quote unquote straightest gay person that people have met. um,
Straightest gay person. That's an interesting title.
right. It really was because like I didn't really know how to feel about it, but I'm just like, well, I mean, to me, it doesn't really sound harmful, but like that's just to me, you know.
Hmm. I mean, sometimes you just be out here fucking dudes, and that's the end of it.
Right.
So, what brought you to be moving around so much?
um, it was mainly because like I grew up with just my mother. Um, so like along like coming to America, like shortly coming into America, my folks ended up divorcing. So most of my life I kind of grew up with my mama. Yeah, it was just like moving around a lot, just trying her best to raise a man and like do her thing to like take care of the both of us, you know, keep a roof over our head. And
Right. So it's just like a process of figuring things out.
yeah, it is kind of unfortunate because I must like I couldn't like imagine how like similar it is for a lot of like people that like grow up with like just a single parent. Like in a way you would have to like grow up quick.
Hmm.
Like you would have to like if especially if you like a man, like you would have to like find a way to figure out how to be your own man without having like a paternal figure mostly around. You feel me?
Yeah, like learn how to shave.
And like vice versa, like say that like you're a female that grew up with only your father, like you know, it's kind of hard to like figure out being how to be a woman because you don't have a maternal figure in your life. It's always that maternal paternal figure that kind of like makes a difference of how you like grow up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or at least someone that has an idea of how to learn the ropes. Like you see these
Right,
parents these days learning things on YouTube, like how to tie a tie and do their girl's hair and all these things. But
right,
back when you were growing up, there probably wasn't as much, accessible these kind of mundane things that people just like are imbued with as their gender role.
right. And like not trying to make like everything similar because like everybody's story is unique in its own way because everybody gonna face like different life experiences, you know what
Of
I'm
course,
saying?
right.
um but yeah, like I would say like most of the areas that I grew up in, so like basically I'll say it like this, like a lot of the areas that I've been in, like you know, it ain't the hood but it ain't white suburban neither. It's like it's kind of like a deal where I'm like I'll meet you in the middle of all that, you feel me? Like I'll meet you in the middle.
Hmm. Okay. So sort of like the lower but not totally low areas where it's not like
Mm-hmm.
decrepit and crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's your main OC and how do you feel you express yourself through them?
My main OC, so I'm a Shiba and a macaque hybrid. Essentially, I'm a dog monkey or a monkey dog, if you will.
Right.
But I personally call it an Inuzaru because like that's the Japanese way of saying dog monkey, and I felt like it would be appropriate because of the fact that like you know I'm using two species that are native to Japan, and you know in a way like it's just kind of like putting my own little culture into it.
Putting your spin on it, so to speak.
Hmm.
And what brought you to the furry fandom in the first place?
At this point I don't even know, I don't have a damn clue.
Ooh, that's worrying. Okay.
No, but for real, I think what brought me into the fandom was just watching a whole bunch of like con videos and all that. So then like here I am being my young self, you know. um I just joined. Like I've been in the fandom since I was like 13, right? Like I've been in here for a while, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When you grow up in this fandom, sooner or later you go realize that magical facade. Like, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it can be tough learning how some people act in the fandom without any repercussions, for sure, among other things.
Y- a lot of things,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah, I
fucking
feel
things.
you. So you started when you were 13, but wait, how old are you now?
I'm currently 20.
Oh my god, you're so young. I feel so old.
I told you. Listen, before we recorded this, I told you I'm still in my daddy's ball sack.
Ah, man, I thought you were fucking kidding me, but obviously not. Shit.
Mm-mm.
I mean, shit, you can't even drink yet over here yet.
I mean, it's all good. Give me like 6 more months and 8 more days. I'm gonna be doing shots of Hennessy in the bars. Well, wait, hold on. We still got Rona. Never mind.
Hey, be careful with that shit. You never know where you're gonna wake up, alright?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Alright, but back on
But yeah.
target. So, okay, you've been here for 7 years, and have you always been
Mhm.
interested in dancing?
Oh yeah. Like before I started taking dancing seriously, I used to be one of those hype dancers. Like if there was like a dance circle and like especially during school, like it's just folks doing like hype shit. I just go in and start doing hype moves. One of the first few dance moves I learned was the leg jump, where you just basically what you do is you hold your leg and then you use the other leg to jump over that leg.
No, no, couldn't do that. Nope, sorry. I would just fucking break my actual leg. I would kill
No, don't
someone if
do
I
that.
tried that shit.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
I'll
Don't
leave that
don't
shit to
hurt
you
yourself.
guys. Younger generation, more energy.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, how would you describe your dancing style?
Um, it is like very like hip hop foundational. Like and a lot of the moves that I use, I personally like study like hip hop moves. So I kind of take what I study and incorporate that with my dancing. I would also say that like I like to fuck around and do some like wavy stuff too. Like back when I
Hmm.
first started, like I had this like concept of doing like fluid hip hop, but um, I just would say it's like general hip hop, like your general hip hop, freestyle hip hop dance style.
Can you spin on your head? Is that a thing you do?
Nah, but I know
Okay.
a b boy Flitch could,
Okay,
and
that's cool
probably
as
a
hell.
b boy Double Dog.
Ooh. So then what's your signature move then? What's your thing that you do that makes everybody go,
My
"Whoa."
signature, my signature move. I guess I would say like when I do drops. Like there was one move that I did where like I grabbed myself in the head, and this was like during MFF 2019's
Mhm.
jams for the prelims. There was this move in the song where I just kind of like took my hand and I just dragged myself down to the floor, and I just kind of like did. I just kind of picked myself back up, and I just kept doing my thing.
Was like like you fell? Is that what I'm imagining
N-
correctly?
not even like falling. It's kind of like me just kind of like giving that image where I'm like dragging myself down slowly.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
Mm,
about. I think I've seen
mhm.
those kind of dances on the TikTok once or twice. Initially, I thought you were doing that move where the dancer like jumps off from somewhere really high and lands, and they're doing the splits. But I don't think that's what you're going for.
Oh man, I wish I could do a full splits.
Well, you can if you just keep going at it. Yeah, that or you'll snag your twig and berries off. One of those things. What happened first?
Oh no. Oh no no no.
Now, something I've been noticing with these younger furries is that they come into the fandom from these videos online of people partying in fursuits and stuff. Do you think
Hmm.
that initial oh my god, that initial allure is a little misleading as to what the fandom's really like when you go to cons?
Um I feel like in those videos, like first of all, like cons are like they can be what you make it to be. Like it can be very fun as long as you like with the right people, with the right vibes. Like cons can be amazing, cons can be fun. So like in a
Right.
way, like I wouldn't say like it's necessarily like too misleading. However, I would say the misleading part comes from the whole like, you see how like there's this positive like aura that surrounds these videos,
Mm-hmm.
but then as time passes by and like you get more embedded into the fandom, you kind of start to realize that there is like a lot of shit that goes down. Like a lot of these stereotypes that people outside of the scene be making, they're not necessarily wrong, bro, because we got folks that be down bad. You feel me? Like, and sometimes it be folks that like got like a big ass fucking platform, and then you just got so many folks that be like cradle rocking these people just because they like some content, and it's like it's crazy. And that's just one of the, like, I guess that would be like the part where it would be misleading. I also want to add, like, when you see this kind of shit, it also leads to that, like, that younger person, whether or not they want to either ignore it or be conscious about it, and be one of the folks that call that shit out. And like usually that's what I would hope. That's what I would hope, because yeah, the fandom should be a positive space. The problem is we got so much toxins in it, and like it's toxins that are hidden by like this blanket of fake positivity.
Mm.
You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. Toxic positivity can be just as harmful as just normal toxic bullshit, honestly.
Facts.
What makes it
And
so harmful is when these big creators, these big content creators who go to cons and stuff, and they're the guests of honor and whatnot, and they have like 15K, 20K followers, and they are setting horrible examples for all of their followers. And you can say that these people can make their own minds or whatever. When you're basically put into this position where you are an influencer, you just subconsciously give these people these ideas, right? There is
mm-hmm.
an responsibility you have to like
Facts.
not mislead them into doing heinous things. For instance, try to keep this a little
Oh,
bit vague.
goodness gracious, yeah. Because like unfortunately, especially what I noticed in this fandom, it's like there really is a lot of sheep mentality. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you, like I see that a lot. And it's just as you mentioned, like when you see these big influencers that set up these horrible examples, and then you got folks that like fuck with their content,
Mm-hmm.
they get led onto that, and then they start following that, thinking that this shit is great because they view the person that they idolize as like this fucking higher being. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's not at the forefront of their mind, like, holy shit, I want to fuck Red Wolf 69. He's so hot. I love him. I'm going to listen to whatever he says. It's more like, no, like, at the back of your mind, something comes up and you're thinking, like, hey, Dollar Bill Dog got half off on this Wendy's meal by saying that he was paraplegic. I guess I could try it out just to see where it goes. Like it starts out with that, like
Right,
with this
right.
sort of innocuous mindset. But we need to recognize that these things are harmful. And
Facts.
also, influencers don't like to take accountability for things. They pretend to apologize, and then they're told by their followers, it's okay, ooh woo. And then they do it again.
Unfortunately, like it's not just even in the fandom you see that. You just see that generally everywhere. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just that
definitely.
it's just that cradle rocking right there. That's what it
Mm.
is. It's that cradle rocking.
Shane Dawson.
Ooh, ooh. Hey, we not gonna go there. We not gonna go there. No.
I'm just saying, it's not normal to have a running joke where you get canceled every so often for these horrible things that you say, and it's like always
Facts.
some new material that you're getting fucked with for.
Facts.
Like maybe it's you, maybe it's something you're doing, but actually you.
Mhm.
It's just like that scene
Yeah.
from BoJack Horseman when Todd is confronting BoJack and he's telling him it's not his family, it's not about the alcohol or the drugs, it's just him that is the problem, and that will never
Mm-hmm.
change.
Mm-hmm.
Great scene, by the way. Please watch BoJack Horseman. Love you. Bye.
Facts. Watch that show. That shit go crazy. This we wasn't sponsored by BoJack Horseman, but hey, I mean, shit, we still gonna give that show a shout out because it's good. You feel me?
Hell yeah, absolutely. It's better. The more depressed you are, the better it is. Just like Evangelion.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah. But going back on topic, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you don't have folks taking accountability for that shit, and it's like, and that's another thing that I notice that furries do. Like, it's like you say something that like you thought it was a joke, but in reality it was harmful. Then when folks kind of call you out on it, you either kind of like you kind of like go depressed mode, but really you just kind of cowering away from the situation. And two, like you just don't give a fuck. Like you think this
Right.
shit is funny to you, so you just think you just gonna keep on saying it, and it's like, and it's kind of like shit like that where it's like you got a lot of folks that be a little uncomfortable like being with the general side of the fandom. You feel me? Because it's like there be a lot of shit like that plus more that just be kind of going away, or not going away, but like kind of like happening, and like it's all like ha ha ha, ki hooty hooty hoo, like all that shit. But it's kind of like it can be harmful. What you saying can be fucking harmful, and you just don't even realize that because you just kind of, I don't know, you just ignorant as fuck.
Yeah, it kind of weird the way these guys manage these apology posts. Like even back when I think it was like at the height of BLM and this, oh my god, I can't remember his name. It was like a green husky or something. He got called out for making like this quote unquote ghetto sticker like Shinakwa or Kiwika or
Oh,
some shit like
oh
that.
yeah.
But he basically just pissed his pants and ran around in the circle and cried, and people forgave him for that. But he didn't actually do anything besides, I think he donated to random BLM charity like it was freaking racism tax or something. That's not that's not really making anything better. Like it's great that you
Mm-hmm.
want to like do something, I guess. But how is that
Mm-hmm.
benefiting the people in your community or showing the people that you hurt with this action that you want to change and learn from it? That's the whole thing, that you don't want to change. You just want to keep it on. And you can because of the nature of Twitter, that people will forget, that they need to be reminded, that it seems like it's old even if it's been like 5 days. And that's how they get away from this accountability thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like when you fuck up like that, you just kind of like gotta take the L, and you just gotta own up to your fuck ups. Like, yeah,
Mm,
everybody fucks up. You feel me? Everybody fucks up.
right.
But whether or not you take accountability for it, that's on you. Like if you take an accountability for it and then you actually make the progressive like change for the better, then that's one thing. But it's really all that. You just gotta take accountability. Otherwise, like you definitely just gonna keep doing it, and then you just gonna get more and more folks side eyeing you.
Exactly, exactly. Especially if you have tendencies that are linked to narcissism, you probably think that you're correct for whatever you're getting quote unquote witch hunted for anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it won't change anything in your behavior to continue running away from the L, you know?
Facts. Facts.
Because eventually you're
Mm-mm-mm.
going to trip again and it's going to get closer. Then you're going to end
It
up like
gonna
Shane
get you.
Dawson.
Oh, not the Shane Dawson cycle.
Oh no!
But yeah, and like I said, it's not even just that. It's a lot of like problems amongst in the fandom. Like, all right, let's get a little bit real. All right,
Mm.
why
Right.
why is it that like when folks got receipts of them either being gaslighted, discriminated, or folks just flat out being racist? why is it that why is it that folks want to act like that shit don't exist, or y'all want to label it as fucking drama? Okay, first of all, dear all the white furries, right? Not everybody can escape into this fucking fantasy land that y'all are embedded in. Not everybody can do that, because like when y'all do that, that's just privilege for y'all. Like y'all are privileged enough to be able to do that. But then you got millions of other folks on a day-to-day basis that don't have that. And oftentimes they get stripped of their humanity just because of the color of their skin, or their religion, whatever. And it's like, if that's not enough for them to deal with that on a day-to-day basis in real life, it gets back to the point where like these folks can't even go to the fandom to escape all this, because it still happens within the fandom. And y'all praise that y'all are welcoming and open to everybody, but as soon as someone with some melanin comes through, all of a sudden that shit is out the fucking window.
Damn. I can't fault you
I'm
because you're
sorry.
not wrong.
And like, listen, I'm not trying to like sound like I'm being mad for like other communities and all that, because I myself, I'm not black, I'm biracial, I'm Japanese Irish, I'm Asian. So like, that's my community that like I really go by. But at the same time, it doesn't really hurt to like have some empathy and sympathy to understand what folks that are black people, that are Hispanic people, anybody that's indigenous that go through, and like trans people. It's all shit like that. Like y'all just lack that empathy and sympathy because y'all are just blinded by y'all privilege, and then y'all want to have these ignorant notions without taking the time to understand shit.
A little understanding goes a long way.
It really do.
But if you're not willing to take that first step, then why should BIPOC first bother?
Facts. Like, see, my big bro once told me that like when it comes to like uh the backgrounds that a lot of BIPOC first come from compared to what the general side of the fandom come from, it's like at the end of the day, it's two different worlds. But I think it's also kind of fucked up how like you got folks who are BIPOC first trying to like understand like the general side of the fandom, how shit is and all that, but like the general side of the fandom don't take the time to like do that. They don't reciprocate the same movement. And I just think it's fucked up.
Hey man, well said. Honestly, I agree with you. Because it was weird, like, when I started taking part in the main part of the fandom where all the poppy furs and the whatevers are. And I saw that BIPOC furs aren't treated the same way. They get a little bit less leeway. They're
Facts.
scrutinized when they try to succeed. Like they're trying to show everybody up, but no, they're just trying to do like a good thing. Back when Chessie, Vatica, and Wolf, and the guy that got exiled from the fandom raised the $9,000 for charity last year, they were dragged for it. They were like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
guys so happy about this? And I was like, what the hell? They raised $9,000 for charity. That is shit rivaling the cons, apparently. And they did that on their own merit just through like a stream. That should be like a celebration. Everybody should be happy about that. But it became like a
Facts.
discourse.
And I think I remember it too, because I think folks was also trying to say that the whole event was apparently racist. And it's like, the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
What the fuck? Like y'all was trying to say the same shit about the POC room parties that was happening at conventions. Y'all was trying to say the same shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, then they don't want to talk about the room parties that were apparently. Now, this is only from what I hear from the guests, but There were room parties that were just white furries, and if you were a BIPOC fur trying to get into those room parties, you weren't gonna be allowed in. So I imagine those BIPOC only rooms didn't come from some kind of weird hatred for like everybody else, but because they've been kicked out of everyone
Hmm.
else.
And it's fucked up, but like that really fucking happens, and like folks really try to really ignore that the fact that this shit happens, or that, like I said, like they just want to fucking label it as drama. Like racism is not fucking drama. Racism is fucking, it's fucking disgusting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking disgusting. Just that, how the fuck you just gonna hate on another human being just because they don't look like you? Like, fuck out of here. Like for real, fuck out of here. Because like, who the fuck are you to judge another human being? Because at the end of the day, I say like Tupac, only God can judge me. You feel me?
Mm, mm. And unfortunately, racism is very pervasive. It's everywhere. It controls everything. So many things are out of
Mm-hmm.
are basically predetermined for us because of racism from the past generations. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was still slavery in the United States up until the 1960s. And I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the last women to be freed from slavery died in 2014. Because down in the South, they didn't tell the slaves that they had been freed. So it just kind of kept going on. And then we
Yeah.
get talking about why black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstrings and all this other shit when they tried and they got their shit broken down and they
Uh,
there's just a lot there's a lot there to unpack.
I also feel like there's a lot of folks that like not like when it comes to like black people and like their history, I think a lot of folks tend to not understand what generational scars are.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. They think they're their own separate things, like how Ben Shapiro says redlining was outlawed back in 20 years ago. Why are you crying about it now? You're only 13. What?
Like, and it's kind of like, who the fuck are you to tell how a person should feel about their history? Like, who the fuck are you to tell? Especially if you not of the same race. Like, that is not your position to tell anybody that.
Yeah, yeah. The majority of black people in America don't know where they're from in Africa, which is why black culture is a thing in America in the first place, because we have this
Mm-hmm.
shared experience of being enslaved. Isn't that nice?
Mm-mm-mm. And let's not forget, yeah, they say that slavery was abolished, but what the fuck did they do to help them out afterwards? Like they ain't getting no type of help, not no psychological help with shelter. But they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that though.
Not even a kiss on the cheek or a chocolate to go under the pillow at night. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's hard to think about. It's heavy to think about, but this is all a product of those times affecting the now. It's not
Right.
great. And I wish it was as
Mm-mm.
simple as someone running around wearing swastika bands and calling everybody the N word or whatever, but it's never that simple because racism is tricky and it persists and it keeps us separated
Facts.
from each other because that's what it was meant to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If we're fighting with each other, we can't band together to overthrow the rich people. But I don't really need to go into an anti-capitalist tirade right now.
That's
We
a
should
story for another time.
soon, but not today. Anyways,
Coming
so
soon to a theater near you.
so you're part Japanese and part Irish, right?
Correct.
Do you ever experience anxiety interacting with other furries because you fear that they'll treat you differently?
Well, it actually got me to the point where like for the longest time I did put up like, especially back when I was making content like a long time ago, back when I was a
Mm.
lot more younger, like yeah, there was a time where I did have to like put up this front because like, see, this is the way that I talk. Like when people like knew me from apart from the content making back then, like they knew that I talk like this. And it was like, but like knowing how like even joining the fandom, I already felt like from the get go I would like be the outcast. I mean, shit. When I was around like other furries my age, I wasn't talking about a lot of like furry shit. Like I was talking about a lot of hip hop, anime, a whole
Mm.
bunch of other shit, and like nobody, nobody got it for the longest time. And I would say like seeing like the BIPOC like community within the fandom gaining like a lot more. It's a lot more out there than it was before because I see a lot more going on. And like back then, a couple years ago, when I discovered this, it was like a change for me. Like it was a complete change because I was like,
Mm.
holy shit, y'all was here after all. Cause I was just, I don't know, I was just tired of like being around furries that kind of like didn't understand like or didn't get with the same cultures that I like that I was with. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was really nice to see like folks in the fandom where it was like really easy to relate to, even folks in the fandom that has a similar background that I do. Like it's really nice to like be able to like interact and meet people like that.
So it's a lot more diverse now. Not quite as white bread with mayonnaise on it, so to speak.
Right.
But really, people weren't interested in that kind of thing?
Listen, like back, I'll never forget this one time. Like I was in like a fucking Telegram group, and this was while I was young. One time I was just like, "Yo, what's Gucci?" And someone was like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like,
Oh,
"You shitting me, right?
who the
You
fuck
shitting me,
does
right?
that? What the hell? Okay, listen,
Like you
even if you don't
shitting
know
me,
what it
right?"
means, you don't just be like, hey, what's that mean? What?
I'm just like, how the fuck do you not know what that means? But like, yeah, it was kind of like one of those things where like, yeah, I just had to put up a front because like half of the time I felt like folks wouldn't understand what the hell I was trying to say, or
Right.
that or I would just be perceived as like differently. Like literally like I've been like checked by like white people by the way that I speak. And that's crazy to me. That's fucking wild to me. I'm just like, wait, but y'all don't even talk like this though. What the fuck is you doing trying to check me on this? Like,
Hmm.
I would like let if a black person were to have this conversation with me, then I would gladly have that conversation with them. But when it comes to white people, we don't talk. Cause the fuck do you know?
Damn,
The
that is
fuck
some
do you
weird
know?
shit.
It is some weird shit.
The caucasity.
The facts, the caucasity. And it's fucked up too because like hell, some of those racist ass oppressors, they don't even see Irish people as white people. So like shit,
After all this time, after they got the membership into the whitedom, it's still, it can be taken away at any moment, you know? You never know.
man, you never fucking know. But yeah, like and like that's kind of like one of the main reasons why I stepped away from like initially making content creating because it was kind of like I'm over here like faking this like personality for others when it was kind of like, and it also like put me in a weird position because I was just like in a weird mindset of like not knowing who I wanted to really be.
Right.
And then I grew up and then I just kind of was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be me. Fuck it.
Yeah,
And
fronts and
here
stuff
I am
like that can
today.
really fuck with your personality and how you see yourself in general.
Hmm. Facts. And like I already like deal with like pretty bad self image issues as is, so it was kind of like yeah, it just put me in like a weird position mentally and emotionally.
Damn, I can't imagine going through that. Would you say it's gotten better
But
now?
oh yeah, like lately, it's definitely gotten a lot better. Like
Mm.
especially when I started making music, like yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot better. Um, Meeting up with some of the people that like also make music. Shout out Jay LaFlame, Psy, and Black Magic. Yeah, like it's crazy, you know. It's crazy because sometimes like when you find people that you vibe with and that you make great stuff with, you know, it in a way like it helps like bring up that confidence in yourself because it's one of those things where like yeah I can do this and I am doing this.
It's like rediscovering what made you you in the first place. That's cool as fuck.
Facts.
Welcome to the middle of this episode of What's the Fuzz? Don't forget to give us a like or subscribe on your platform of choice. And if you're listening on Spotify, follow us so you'll know when the latest episode drops. If you're not using any of those things to listen to this, just follow us on Twitter at what'sthefuzz_ or check out the Telegram channel t.me/rhinorites, which I use to post important things that tend to get lost on the Twitter timeline, like pictures of myself. Oh, and if you're BIPOC and over 18, don't forget to check out the BarPox Discord server, linked in the show notes below. Okay, that's everything. Okay, bye!
And I want to shout out a whole bunch of other people I know too.
Hey, go for it.
Like Boneless, Black Link, Fendi, Woozy, everybody that did Vibe Check. Hold on, I gotta say all their names now. I gotta pull out the list. But yeah, like shout out to Fendi, shout out to Sparks, shout outs to Maelstrom, shout outs to DJ Woozy, shout outs to Nonstop Pup, shout outs to Ace, shout outs to Silva, shout outs to Bad Will, shout outs to Yin Wubs, shout outs to Solar Dog, and shout outs to Sky. Regardless if you was involved in the hosting vibe check or you was one of the artists performing, shout outs to you. Y'all did your thing and yeah, it's amazing. Appreciate y'all for putting on such a great event.
Hell yeah, can't wait for Vibe Check 2.
On me, like when's the next vibe check though?
You gotta
That's
be
the
in the next
question.
one, though.
On me?
Yeah, you gotta.
Nah.
You don't want to book a block or something?
Man, I just started. Hold on, let me get some more content out.
Okay, you better fucking hop to it before they schedule another one.
Hey, I got a cover coming out this month, so.
What you working on right now? What's the secret?
I'm currently working on a Joji cover at the moment. This is a cover of Thumb by Joji. This was one of his like older tracks, and I'm talking about like back when he did the Chloe Burbank tape. I'm doing that. I'm doing a single with Zerg. Shout outs to Zerg. He's also in the collective I'm in. Shout outs to Zerg. We're doing a track together, and I also got a track with Boneless planned too. So yeah, and who knows?
Holy
Maybe
shit.
I might just fuck around and work on a project after that. Who knows? Secret.
How far are you hoping to take it though? Like, what do you see yourself doing?
That's a good question, and quite honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what the future holds ahead of me. All I'm concerned about is what I got now and what I got going now, and that's what I continue to put. That's what I want to continue to push forward. And wherever the future takes me, like shit, I'm gonna let it take me because I'm just a drifter. I go with the flow.
So post Rona, if you had the opportunity to play at a show or something, you would take it?
Oh, it would be kind of dope to perform at a con. I won't lie. It would be really dope to perform at a convention or just any event outside of like the furry scene. Like generally, I make like music within the fandom, but I don't make furry music. And like the collective I'm in, kind of like is gonna expand more than that. I would say.
Do you think the things that you're making right now could appeal to furries?
Maybe to BIPOC furries. maybe.
Damn. Okay.
No,
No
I don't
hope
know.
out
I don't know
there.
about the. I don't know about the. I don't think I should really say hope. I mean, I feel like BIPOC furries might bump with my shit because the music that I make falls in the realms of like alternative hip hop and alternative R&B. Though unfortunately, I
Hmm.
can't say the same for the general side of the fandom because they onto some other shit. So I don't know.
That's always weird to me because I grew up with R&B, and people not listening to R&B is fucking weird to me. I'm sorry, it's just weird.
Facts.
Like, how do
Like,
you hear that beat and just be like, I can't dance to this. This is boring. Put on some
all I
Speed
do.
Core 69. Okay, well,
Bro, I swear to God, like sometimes the shit that folks like in the general side of the fandom be listening to, I'm over here like, how the fuck y'all dance to this? This some like impossible shit. How y'all dance to this? What the
you
fuck?
hear someone, it's just a machine gun rattling off
And
in the
then
distance.
y'all hear some Bobby Brown, and then all of a sudden I can't dance to it. Like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here with your trifling ass, you know. Nah, but like, listen, like, how can you not like R&B? Like, how can you not like some of that? All I do is think of you, think about all the time. Like, how can you hate that? How can you hate that?
I don't understand it. And a lot of the songs are about fucking too. Like a lot of them.
Mm,
Furries love fucking.
I'm saying, like, what the fuck?
I was
Like, you
re-listening to a
play.
bunch of songs I listened to when I was a kid, and I realized, damn, there's there's a lot of just
Listen,
pining after a
if you pl-
girl.
hey, if you play Lloyd's Feel So Right, you definitely fucking you definitely fucking.
God Almighty!
When it's so good, it feels so right.
Listen, if there's any white furries out there, or just furries that haven't listened to R&B, you need to you need to
You need
put the
to. That's
mersuit
the
on. You need to put the R&B on, and you need to let the magic
facts.
happen. It'll just happen.
Like fuck, put you on some genuine. Like put on pony for fuck's sakes.
Trust us, it'll be worth it.
Trust us, it's worth it. Like if you thought you was fucking good to EDM, you probably gonna fuck better to R&B. I'm telling
How
you
do you
that right
fuck to
now.
EDM? You can't go that fast anyway.
I don't know.
God.
Nah, because sometimes they be popping the Tabalusi, so then they actually go extra speed.
Oh, you right. You're right. I forgot about that shit. So you feel you fit into the fandom by being an entertainer then?
I guess so. Because like other than that, I mean shit, I really don't feel like I belong. Like if I'm not doing like shit like within the fandom or I'm not at a convention then shit, I don't feel like I really belong anywhere. Like
Hmm.
I try to join like, random furry Discord servers and random furry telegrams chat just to kind of vibe, but like it's usually like this for me. Like if it's not like a group where like it's BIPOC abundant or like it's not like heavily focused on like the arts that I do, then like most of the time I just would feel like I'm an outcast. I just don't belong there.
Yeah, it can be tough out here finding your spot.
Like hell, I thought I could vibe with the local chat that I used to be in until I found out there's some shit booty ass people in there. And then there was this one instance where there was this weird ass horse dude. He goes by the name of I'm not shitting you. That was his name.
The horse.
You gonna have I would ask that you censor that. I'm sorry for name dropping, but nah, there was also this one instance where this one dude was basically trying to argue with me and Red that Trump is not a bad person. Okay, so there was two arguments with this. He tried to claim that BLM is a communist movement just because the founders of BLM are self-proclaimed Marxists. Now here's where he fucked up. Trying to make communism and Marxism the same fucking thing. But a quick Google research says that those are two fucking different things, my friend. So you fucked up right there. And I even pointed it out. I even gave them the definition of both. Dude couldn't say anything back. Then dude tried to link a video saying that Donald Trump wasn't racist. And he basically showed me all of these clips that was outdated of him basically saying that he denounces racism. And so my argument back was, first of all, the videos that you show me, they're all outdated. And second of all, even if these video clips were to happen now, like, or they were said around the time where we was having this argument at the same time where he said all that shit. He's a businessman. You think he don't know how to sway his words to the people's favor? You know what I'm saying? And he's a shiesty businessman at that.
Yep. I mean, that's the only thing he's got going for him. He's got to get good at it.
Mm-hmm. And if not that, it doesn't change the fact that he basically fumbled in the last presidential election when he was asked if he denounces white supremacy. He was beating around the bush. So like, either way, your argument don't mean shit. It don't mean shit for me. Like, you out here pretending like you actually said something, but then here I am responding and making you look stupid, so you can't say nothing back. So all you want to do is resort to some childish ass trolling. And that's why you get called a horse fucker in the chat. You fucking weirdo. Oh yeah, I called that dude a horse fucker because I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not dealing with this childish ass nonsense, boy. Like, come on. I'll get ignorant too. What's up?
My God.
and yeah, Redbone saw that shit too. and he told me that he was dying because he was like, bro, you just straight up called him a horse fucker for no reason. I'm like, yeah, because he's a bitch.
My God. I'm here for it though. Oh my God.
Now, I honestly do not like being like this. Like, I know I'm laughing and it sounds like I'm fucking like joking around as I'm saying this, but I really don't like getting like this. I don't like getting like this on folks because it's like, then I just wild out. Like, I do not care. Like, I will be mean, and I don't like getting like that. But it's not my fault that folks in this chat just kept testing my patience and just kept provoking me for no reason. Like, if you finna come for me, then like get ready for me to come right at you back, because like, Chicago people can be chill, but as soon as you come for them, there's no chill. It goes 0 to 100 real quick.
I want to make a joke about the Windy City, but I can't think of anything right now. Something about you getting blown your back out? I don't know. Anyways, it is confirmed that colorblind white people and black Republicans are the worst people to deal with on the face of the earth. Confirmed.
Yo, like, facts. It be your own people sometimes too. Like, you have people in the Asian community who be thinking that they this fucking honorary minority, and it's like, the fuck? The fuck?
I think
that's the dumbest shit I've done.
I think it was the Vietnamese that were for Trump the most, if I remember correctly. And the Cubans were for Trump the most. And then, you know, black people for the grift that turned into black people for the actually.
Like,
they coming from all sides. They just coming in.
They do.
It's unfortunate because even in freaking Tokyo, Japan, there are people marching around for fucking Trump. Like, what?
What? That honestly, seeing that, like, low key broke my heart, man. Cause it's like, cause the thing is, like, they do this because for them it's imperialism. You feel me? I feel like that was in a move of the imperialism, and unfortunately, that still exists. Some of that shit still exists in Japanese society, and it's kind of disgusting because you got to look at the history of what the process of imperialism was, because you had the Japanese go after the Chinese and the Koreans. Like, hell, they basically robbed like some of the Koreans of their culture a long time ago because they were trying to make the Korean people assimilate with the Japanese culture.
Right, exactly. So I was wondering where it connected. So when you bring it to like the imperialism thing, I get it because I thought it wouldn't make sense if it was for white nationalism or something like that because like they're Japanese nationalists. They think Japanese people are the superiors, right?
I will say because like, and I've seen this described many times, and I think it might be the best way to put it because imperialism is just kind of like in, I guess you can say like a cousin of white supremacy,
Right, yeah.
and like it's so weird like seeing it's just so weird. I mean like. I just don't understand it. Like I just don't understand the mindset behind that. Like why are you trying to like co-sign with white supremacy? Because at the end of the day, like they may put up this facade that they cool with you, but they really not. They any given chance they will hold you purely because you are not white, you are not their race, or you are not this image of what they perceive their race should be.
Right.
And it's like I just think it's so like backwards that like you got just not even just Japanese people, just like Asian people that be following this. It's like y'all just kind of digging your own grave. Like if I'm gonna be real with you,
Mm.
like hell, look at what happened with COVID. Like these motherfuckers threw all of the Asians under the bus, and they basically gaslighted all the poor white people to go after us. And like it's already bad enough that folks can differentiate the difference between a Japanese, a Chinese, a Korean, a Vietnamese, a Thai person, or anything that falls under the Asian
Right.
category. It's like they gonna call everybody Chinese, and then they just gonna come after all of us.
Mm-hmm. And
And
when
and
Trump
that
was president, he encouraged people to go after these people, like literally, and calling them
facts.
Kung Flu and China virus and all this other fucking shit.
The ping pong pneumonia and shit,
Oh fuck, God, ugh.
like that rise of Asian hate crimes, it is very concerning because it's like you have so many you have so many Asian people that's literally trying to go about their business, not fucking with anybody, and then all of a sudden you see this white person lunging at you and beating the fuck out you, all because he or she blames you for creating the fucking virus. That and like yo, like fuck you, Donald Trump, and fuck all y'all for instigating this shit in the first place.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
with that be with that being said, I have also seen like Asian people try to like, I don't know if I really would call this oppression Olympics, but I've seen like some Asian people trying to be like, "Oh, y'all talking about BLM, but what about the Asian hate crimes?" And it's like, dog, first of all, we not here to try to get the most highlight of who's getting oppressed because chances are if you non-white, you going to get fucking oppressed. It's not a fucking competition. What it is that everybody that's in their respective communities, we all have different histories. All of us. And each different history has different pains and different struggles. Now, because nothing is going to be the same. What's the same is the common enemy. Who's the ones that be putting us under this shit? It's all different struggles, but it's one common enemy. That's what I say.
mm-hmm. Damn right.
And it's like we shouldn't be highlighting, getting the most highlight or getting the most attention because like we getting oppressed a lot. Like that's not what this should be about. I honestly think all of us who do face some sort of oppression, I feel like there should be a thing where we should all try to understand each of our oppressions and see how we can build from there. How can we build something better for all of us and in all of our communities?
Damn.
But that goes a long way. That really do go a long way.
There's always gonna be people willing to pull into work, but no one's saying you can't join them. You know what I mean?
Facts. And Yeah, that's just my thing about it. Like, let's not do this oppression Olympic shit because, like, I mean, if you think of it this way, that's what they want us to do, low key.
Exactly.
That's what that's what they want us to do.
So you consider yourself to be a beastman, not necessarily a furry, because you don't want to be associated with furries, right?
Yeah,
Well, what would make you want
I
to
mean,
come back and just call yourself a furry?
I really don't know because even back then, I even joked by saying like, "Yo, I'm not really a furry." Like, hell, even back then when I was making content, I was like, "Yo, I'm not a furry YouTuber." Like, what the fuck?
For a YouTuber, who the fuck is that?
like, like I don't know. Like, I guess it's kind of like me calling myself a beastman. I guess in a way it's kind of like a retaliation against like the general side of the fandom. I mean, I definitely
Hmm.
feel like I do belong in the fandom as long as I'm like in a BIPOC environment. That's for sure. But you know, at the same time, and I just feel like the thing over time, like the word furry, also to me tends to have like a negative connotation to it. So, but that's just personally me. That's just me. Like, I'm not saying that it's a negative connotation in general. I just see it as such.
Ew, you're a furry. Gross.
Hey, I'll be one of those types to do that shit. Actually, I'll be like, damn, you a furry? Oh, you musty as hell.
You gotta keep it real. All right, last question for you. Since you already shouted out some cool ass BIPOC furs earlier, I just want to
hmm
know what your favorite thing is about being a beastman or a furry, or you.
Uh,
Favorite thing.
uh, I don't know. My favorite thing. I guess for me, because like I wasn't really too crazy into like the fursuits, no, not so crazy into the furry art. I guess it was just like I've always had like this appeal to like anthropomorphic creatures, and I blame it on a lot of the childhood movies that I used to watch. But I think it's mainly the people, and like I said, this seeing a lot more like the BIPOC community that's within the fandom, like that to me would probably be the best part.
All right, that just about does it for this episode. Thanks again to you, Hanzo, for coming on the show and chatting with me.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
You've got the spotlight to promote anything you like. Go for it.
My Twitter is at HTGHanzo2K. My SoundCloud and YouTube is pseudonormy. Be on the lookout for more music because I got some more shit coming up soon. And when conventions start rolling back, then catch me and Clawz N Concrete Crew doing our thing on the dance floor. And shout outs to CC Crew and shout outs to Magic Records, my two families that I'm rolling with. Please check them out and check everybody that's in those two families because there's a lot of dope and talented people within those two families. So yeah.
Be sure to follow the show at What's the Fuzz _ on Twitter. And thanks everybody out there for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.